My message to all female entrepreneurs is that be focused. As long as you're passionate about it, I'm sure goals can be achieved. My first childhood was in Johor Bahru. I come from a family of 6 children, 2 brothers and 3 sisters. And initially I went to a school which was about 50 minutes walk away from my home in Johor Bahru. It was known as Sekolah Rendah Kebangsaan Nong Chik. When I was 10 years old, my dad retired and the whole family relocated to Butterworth, and I studied at the convent Butterworth. I think when we were little, all you wanted was to live in those nice houses that your friends had. When I was young, because there was no real ambition, because we wanted to become from astronaut to pilot to that kind of thing, or even a scientist. But then as we grow older, I became very competitive, started to do a lot more things, such as school debates, as well as represent the school in the allocation contest. When we were young, when it comes to holidays, we do not know the actual meaning of the word holiday, because holiday means no school, but no school means helping mom with more housework. The only holiday that I can remember was a little picnic that we had at Pantai Merdeka, which is in Kedah. I think my dad borrowed a car from one of his friends, so the whole family hopped in. Mom cooked some food. We had a little picnic. So that was my little holiday when I was young. We did not actually have money to actually go for holidays. Oh, I love to read. Ever since when I was very young, I love to read. I think I read every book written by Enid Blyton those days. Had to borrow books from my friends as well as the school library. When I was older, I even had I was a frequent visitor to the public libraries, whereby I borrowed a lot of books to read. Till today, I still do a lot of reading, but I must stress that I read what I like to read. Does not translate into school books at all. But I was quite fortunate in the sense that even though I do not like to read school books, I have a good memory, blessed with a good memory. Therefore, as long as I pay attention in school, I can do well in examination. I like to read, therefore I think I like to keep to myself. But then again, I tend to be a little competitive. So because of that, I'm also a girl guide. I was a company leader when I was in school. I also took part to represent the school in the inter-school debates, allocation contests, science competition. I must say that a little bit on the studious side, not because I like to study, I like to read. I started my career in the hospitality industry by chance. I did a degree in economics and I majored in business administration. And one of my favorite subjects is the labor legislations. So my first job in a hotel was at the Shangri-La Kuala Lumpur. I applied for a job as a personnel officer way back in 1985. That's how I started my career in that industry. From personnel officer, I became the director of HR then. But because I'm the type who likes new challenges, so I decided to venture out of HR, human resources, and went into other departments. That's how I got to know all the different departments within a hotel. In anything that we do, there are a lot of setbacks. In the hotel industry, over the years, we had the problem of the financial crisis that affected people spending, and then came SARS, and of course now the latest is the coronavirus. Tourism is getting a bit hit at this point in time. These are the obstacles and the setbacks that we have to encounter. Sometimes even within the country, small comments by a head of state, such as remember recently when the talk about Kashmir's religious problem, and because our head of state here gave some comments. The Indian decided not to come to Malaysia. So these are the setbacks that we actually have when it comes to tourism industry. But with all these setbacks, we do not see them as only challenges, but we see them as also opportunities. Like for example, the current crisis of the coronavirus, it compels us more to actually work harder, to work more aggressively to develop new market and not rely only on certain markets that can give us volume, but makes us very vulnerable. So all of us are working into making sure that we get more arrivals from other countries, not only depending on one country itself. I think as I grow older, I tend to delegate a little bit more, hopefully, to the younger people. I find that I enjoy my work, and because of that, there's a tendency for work. To me, work is fun, and as long as it's fun, it's not stressful. As long as it's not stressful, it is not work lah. One of the things that I like most when I travel is, of course, the array of food that we get from each of the country that I visit, and of course, I really enjoy staying in very nice hotels. From the little experience that we get from staying in all these hotels, we try to find these little touches that that you get in these hotels. You try to bring it back to the hotels that you operate. I think as a budding entrepreneur, everybody will actually have got challenges. Everything you need to work hard to achieve your goals. Well, if you look at the hotel industry, you will see that it is dominated by a lot of male at the upper level of the industry. And I hope that more female will actually join the hotel industry, because it is actually a good industry to be in. I travel a fair bit. For example, just last year, I was in India, I was in Berlin, I was in Vietnam and Oman, just to receive awards, whether personal awards or awards for the company. And I also take this opportunity to also do cross-selling and marketing for the hotels that we operate. Each destination is unique. Sometimes you find that it's memorable because of the people that you meet, the people that travel with you, or the food. So every destination will be pretty unique by itself. Of course, my message to all female entrepreneurs is that be focused and do enjoy what you do. As long as you're passionate about it, I'm sure goals can be achieved. It is not an easy ride, but as long as you enjoy it, I think it's worthwhile the experience. The hotel industry in the country is still not at a very advanced stage. We still need hotels of higher standards. What I hope to do for Port Dickson in particular is to make it into a little Hawaii of the East. We're going to build our hibiscus 2 very soon. And with more than 3,000 rooms in Port Dickson eventually, we hope that we'll be able to make Port Dickson as the tourism destination in the world.